it. I'm here to race. I'm excited to be here. Then we're also looking at the number 243 of Patrick Gruszka. Now, Patrick, if you've seen him before or know anything about American Stage Rally, he is a previous champion. He's working through his way right now. He just came off a 100-acre wood. He is a great driver. I know that's not where he wants to be in the speed final, but he is no stranger to winning. And then Romet Cerna, we did see that he had some issues. Jim, you've been seeing Romet race over in Europe. How's he been standing over there?
Yeah, Romet's been one of the top drivers there in the FC2 division. They call it FC2 over there. We're calling it Supercar here. Same cars, very familiar behind the wheel, but Romet been phenomenal, taking some podiums. He's right there in the hunt this season in the RallyX Europe Series, both North and South, moving up from the cross car division over there into the Supercar division, and he has been the rookie sensation along with Lucas Anderson. So a couple of rookies we're going to see here in action, but let me tell you, when you see them out on track, they definitely don't look like rookies, looking like the veterans. But Romet Cerna, probably the one to watch. Ended up breaking a prop shaft there in the semifinals, relegated him to the B final. So he's going to be one trying to push from that second row, get around both Gruszka and Holscher. That is easier said than done, though. I know talking with Johnny Holscher earlier, right before he jumped in the car to come here into staging, Holscher said, he goes, I just was down on talent this morning, but he said, I'm ready to bring it in this B final, and obviously we've got another round of finals yet to come this afternoon. So I think Johnny Holscher, he showed some flashes of brilliance behind the wheel of a RallyX car, and I think he's going to come into his own. He's going to be very fast in this B final, Tiffany.
Well, when we're looking right now down at the track, we're seeing that the track is really coming together. The one person who knows how this track is going to continue to develop throughout the entire final is Johnny Holscher. But when we're looking at this is a little over a 3/4 mile track for our drivers today. But what's different than the European tracks is this is going to be 100% gravel or dirt, what we know as dirt in the States, for these drivers. So Johnny Holscher knows exactly how this is going to come together. When we look at everything else, Jim, how is the track going to play into the conditions? Because what we saw on Friday for practice, and obviously we had that rain out yesterday, track conditions are completely different from 2 days ago. It did dry out a little bit. We did see some blue groove come in. The track is being prepped perfectly right now. So I think our drivers are going to get something that they weren't expecting, that we saw earlier this morning when there's still a little bit more moisture in that dirt.
Yeah, as it dries out, these rally cars, these RallyX cars, both the Supercar and Hypercar traditionally get faster. They're all running spec Yokohama tires. These tires are a mixed surface tire, so they're meant to be great on both the tarmac and the gravel. Those of you tuning in from Europe, I understand that terminology. Talking to the American fans, that is basically dirt and I guess dirt and asphalt, but these tires are mixed-use tires, so they're supposed to be good in a lot of different conditions, which means when it's a wet, muddy track, these rally cars don't quite hook up like you would see your traditional Pro 2 and Pro 4 because there's not quite the traction on the tire. You get them onto the tarmac sections or our launch pad there with the asphalt, these things are going to hook up and they're going to be shot out of there like a cannon. So as this track dries out, you're going to see the drivers continue to get quicker and quicker and quicker, and really excited the way these conditions are because I think these RallyX cars are going to be flying.
Well, let's talk about something that's a little bit different than non-traditional short course racing. Obviously, they do have a comp yellow. They re-rack, restack, bring everybody together. But here for RallyX Americas, they're throwing in the Joker. Obviously, the Europeans know so much about the Joker lane and being able to take that. But we've talked about that before. It's a game of cat and mouse sometimes. Sometimes you pull that audible. You don't think that you're going to take that Joker, but they have to take the Joker at least one time per race. And so there's a lot of strategy that goes into this. Explain that just a little bit.
Yeah, there's definitely a lot of strategy. So you'll see those tires in that crossover loop because we're running the short course here at Crandon, or the short track, not the long or the mid track. So those drivers are going to take that outer line. It costs them about a second and a half as they take it. So if you're in the lead, you really don't want to do it because you may cede the lead to second place. So it's very strategic. If you're in the back, you'll generally take it early. If you're in the front, you want to take it late. Sometimes you can make a pass for position on the way you use that Joker because it is a second and a half quicker. quicker. So definitely something to watch. This one's slated for 5 laps. Every driver going to have to take that joker a minimum of 1 time. Well, you can only take it 1 time. You're penalized if you jump the start. You've got to take it twice, which really takes you out of position for a possible win. So definitely something to watch here. It looks like we've got Patrick Gruszka in the green APU car. He is pulling up there into the number 1 hole in the pole position on this one. The 1 ethanol car driven by Johnny Holcher is going to be outside of row number 1, and the Leo Sanas car driven by Romet Sirna out of Estonia is going to be in that 2nd row in that 3rd spot. So really watch for Sirna in that 3rd spot in the 2nd row. He's very, very quick on the starts, lots of seat time in these cars. He has been behind the wheel a ton in recent months in Europe, and I think he's going to be one to push really, really hard. I think Johnny Holcher has shown a lot of speed out here today, and this weekend he just had a rough go in those semifinals, so I think Holcher's got a shot, and Gruszka's been very quick as well, so this should be a very good 3-car shootout.
And what we were talking about a little earlier when we were in the semifinals, when we're looking at number 13, Romet Sirna. Now, during the rain delay yesterday, Romet actually went down to the barn, went down to the sim racing, iRacing down there right now, that's down there, and he also turned a ton of laps. So not only was he able to get the laps during practice in Q1 and Q2, but during that rain delay, he pulled some more laps. So I feel like he has a little bit more knowledge of how to really set up the car at those jumps, in those turns. And I was fortunate enough to be able to get a little bit of advice from him. And this gentleman for sure knows exactly what he's talking about. And it seems like he has a little bit more knowledge of Crandon International Off-Road Raceway now compared to some of the European drivers.
Yeah, definitely a ton of seat time behind the wheel of a RallyX car. Like I said, he's running the entire European series, both north and south. We're seeing him in action out here at Crandon as well. I think he's going to be making a couple of appearances here in the North American rounds. So definitely one to watch. Been a veteran of Rallycross for quite some time. He's going to be very, very quick. But you know what? Crandon here, this track, it is the equalizer because it's a bit different than any of these drivers have seen anywhere else in the world. And I think in this one, Johnny Holcher, knowing this track as good as anybody, is going to be tough to beat. So the way this is working, you're going to see a light go on, it's going to go out, and then at some point, and is not on a timer, it will turn green, and you're going to see these cars shot out of a cannon. They've got anti-lag, they've got launch control, and the starts in RallyX are absolutely mind-blowing. All right, looks like we're waiting for the signal. Car staged. Uh-oh, we got the door coming open on Sirna's car. Getting a little airflow in there means they're not ready to go. These cars don't have pumper systems or anything like that. Complete closed cockpit. I've got that windscreen there as well as side windows, so it does get a little toasty in there. That was one of the big things yesterday, Tiffany, with the rain coming down and these drivers having the windscreens and not having traditional like we see in short course, you know, that free flowing. The mud gets caked on the window and the wipers can't keep up, and all of a sudden you got a bunch of blind drivers.
You're right, and we did talk to some of the drivers who have raced in dirt before or gravel and then that have had some weather. They said for about 2 to 3 seconds you don't really get to see some things because you're waiting for it to kind of go back and forth. Gray, I know, said that she was talking about how not difficult it was going to be, it was just going to be something to do, a new adjustment for her because she's so used to tear off. So I'm assuming that's the same thing for Johnny Holcher as well. But what was great about Johnny is we keep talking about seat time. We saw him during the winter time come out west, race some more short course out there, finished his last Pro Light races out there before he moved to Pro 2. And Johnny was always just saying that the more seat time I can get, the better it is. And you know, the muscle memory comes after that. And I feel like he's been able to translate some of the, not necessarily Pro 2, but Pro Light drive style over here to the supercar.
All right, light is out. Looks like we're one last check. We got Andreas Eriksson, the principal here behind the RallyX series. Checking on the drivers, going to hear him rev up. And we are launched. Looks like Gruszka getting a little bit of edge over Johnny Holcher, but look at that, from the back row, that is Sirna up the middle. Going to get around Holcher, pushing Holcher to the outside.
And that was a quick one right there, and you talked about that. It seems like he swung out a little bit wider, but Sirna does have that speed. Now we're going 3 wide right through that jump.
Look at that, Sirna all the way the hard way around the outside, and now Holcher going, no, hold on here, I got something for you. You got Patrick Gruszka all the way to the bottom, but Sirna on rails, shot out of a cannon in the gravel pit.
And he made it right through there. In just a few turns, we showcase why Sirna is one of the top rallycross drivers out there, and we see him right now in RallyX America.
All right, so Cerna now pulling about a car length over Johnny Holcher. Remember, this one's slated for 5 laps. We will see that mandatory joker at some point. Look for Grushka to take it this time by possibly. Yes, Grushka going to jump in, get that out of the way. He was in third. Smart move by Grushka. Now he's going to try and do a very fast push lap, rejoin this field, so he's got a shot there at Johnny Holcher. But right now, about 7-8 car lengths ahead is Cerna in this B final.
And I really enjoy watching Cerna race. I know he was not really happy with the results, especially with that prop shaft that he was talking about. But he's coming back. He wants to take this. He wants to take this B final and take that top.
Yeah, and we've got another set of semifinals and finals yet to come later on this afternoon. So Cerna is getting some seat time. He's going to come out gloves swinging this afternoon. But right now, he's got Johnny Holcher to deal with. Johnny starting to reel in Cerna just a hair. Some of that short course background and that those laps he's been able to burn here at Crandon coming into play.
And what I really enjoy about Cerna now, this is his first year racing in the FC2 or Supercar in Europe. So he began under the season classified under the Pro-Am division, but he's worked his way up and showcasing why he's worked his way up and why he deserves to be in this class.
Yeah, it looks like he's getting a little bit bigger gap now over Johnny Holcher. Both drivers going to have to take that joker at some point. Got 3 laps to go here as Cerna trying to click off another one into the gravel pit. A little bit of a high line. It looks like they keep pushing up. Talking to Jimmy Henderson earlier, he was saying the low line, if you can run it, is the fastest.
You're right, and now we're looking at some times after that last lap. We're looking at Cerna at 48.052, Johnny Holcher 48.512. Patrick Gruska is a little bit behind, 53.970.
All right, so Cerna now driving on the bottom. Holcher now in as well. Both these drivers yet to take their joker. Thought Holcher might take it that time by. He did not. We're coming down into the barn corner. Cerna with a commanding lead over Holcher at this point. As this track dries out, really seeing these cars start to hook up here. Another time by, look at that, right on that cushion. Beautiful shot, tandem as they go around there. Looks like Holcher taking a car length out of Cerna that time.
Johnny's just getting faster and faster after every single lap. This track's really coming to him, and like we said at the beginning, Johnny knows how this is going to develop with one lap to go with the white flag out.
Yep, white flag is out.
Cerna's taking that joker line. Johnny's following right behind him. We already saw Patrick Grushka take that one. He's a little further behind the rest of the pack, though.
Yeah, it looks like both drivers kind of pushing out wide, almost hitting the blue barrier here in the inside of turn number 1, or the traditional turn number 1 here at Crandon. But right now, Cerna's going to take a mistake by him for Holcher to be able to catch him on this last lap. Up and over that big jump on the backstretch. Going to come down into the gravel pit. See if Cerna can keep it clean through here. He is through clean. Holcher way wide in the gravel pit. Up and over the legendary leap. 1 corner to go. Calamity corner. Cerna going to be through clean. He is. It is going to be Romet Cerna from Estonia on the Lille Saunas car taking home the victory in this B main, followed by Johnny Holcher in the 1 ethanol car. Green APU's Patrick Grushka going to settle for 3rd in this B final. All right, so B final in the books there for our supercars. Now we're going to move on to a B final for our hypercars. As there's your winner there. So officially he will take home 7th place honors. The top 6 from the semifinals made their way into the finals. He's got Tommy Hallman in the Set Promotions car, making his way to the grid. Tommy Hallman, a very, very accomplished rallycross driver globally. I was going to say this entire group in the B final that we're going to see here in the hypercar division. I mean, some highly accomplished. We've got Tommy Hallman in this one, Michaela Aylin Kotolinski, she's an Extreme E champion. Oliver Eriksson, he's won just about anything you can think of in a rallycross car, both in Europe and here in the States. I mean, this is going to be a battle with these 3 cars, Tiffany.
100%. And when we were talking to Michaela earlier, when she just got here, this is her first time over here in the States, the first time over here at Crandon International International Off-Road Raceway. When we had a chance to talk to her, she said the first time that she got into this hypercar was for practice. She had no time, but we could see throughout the day of practice in Q1, Q2 that she was just getting a little bit faster and faster. I know she made some mistakes in the semifinals that put her in this B final, but she's no stranger to being in these cars, being in an electric car. She does race in Extreme E. She's won a championship in 2023. She's a Red Bull athlete. So if she can handle this, my feeling is that Michaela can take that top spot in this B final.
Yeah, Michaela's definitely shown a lot of speed, great use of the joker, great spotter in her ears, so definitely one to watch. And I'm looking at Oliver Eriksson and Tommy Hallman, both very frustrated to be in this B final as we're seeing them shot. Look at that, Hallman from the back, going to draw even with Michaela. Way wide, looks like he's going to drop now all the way back to third, trying to do it the hard way up around that corner in the barn.
And what we've been able to see from Michaela, she does know how to play defense a little bit. We did see that Tommy got around her, or I'm sorry, that Oliver got around her, but now if she can keep that speed and hold it up, and we're going to see what's going to happen with the joker because that's going to set the pace for the rest of the race.
Yeah, I'd say whoever's in third, you're going to see them take the joker on this first lap. Watch for it. Oliver Eriksson out front, that's dangerous. He's got more seat time in a hypercar than just about anybody in the world. He trains other drivers in these on how to drive them. So Oliver Eriksson out front, he is very familiar with this car. Also raced here last year when we did that demonstration races. Yes, Michaela taking the joker. She's going to get that one in the books. So now we've got Tommy Hallman and our leader, Oliver Eriksson, yet to take the joker with 4 to go. You might see Tommy Hallman take it this time by. He may have the gap cleared over Michaela. We'll have to watch his space.
And what I really like about Ollie Eriksson over here is when he had his last full racing season, he had a perfect podium streak. 100% of the times he made the podium in the contested rounds. He's had a Global Rallycross Lights title, back-to-back R2X championship in 18 and 19, and the 2020 RallyX Open 4-wheel drive title. So like you were saying, this driver, this guy knows exactly what it takes to get that win.
And look at that, Hallman starting to put some pressure on Ollie Eriksson. Eriksson not going to take the joker this time by. We'll see if Tommy Hallman does. No, Hallman elects to take the normal race line as well with 3 to go, so he's going to have a couple more laps to strategically use it. Michaela Aylen-Kodolinski, the only driver yet to take it. Looks like she's trying to reel in Hallman as well.
With 3 laps to go, Jim, is the perfect time to take the joker right now if you're up front. But if you're Hallman, do you take that, let Ollie go around and then take it on the next lap?
Yeah, look at that, Oliver Eriksson through the gravel pit. I think you're going to see Oliver Eriksson, our leader, wait till the last lap. I think Hallman, his spotter's going to be in his ear. I think he's got enough time to clear Michaela Aylen-Kodolinski. He doesn't want to take it the same lap as Ollie Eriksson because it means he's not going to have a chance for a pass. So I think with 3 to go, it's going to be 2 to go this time by. Oliver Eriksson will not take it. I think you're going to see Hallman elect to take it on this try just so he may have a shot at getting around Oliver Eriksson. He doesn't, which is a rarity, so he must have not thought he had enough time to clear Aylen-Kodolinski. So he is going to have to follow into the joker on the last lap. So if Hallman can't reel in Oliver Eriksson on track, he's not going to be able to do it with the joker.
Well, and when we're looking at Hallman, you know, he knows what it takes to pick those great lines. He's got 11 victories, 16 total race starts in Europe and North America, and he's just has to make the right move. He has to pick the right lines, but we're looking at Ollie. If Ollie makes that mistake, then you capitalize on that. But since both of them failed to take that joker on that last lap, I'm going to see what happens after these few turns.
Yeah, so we're going to go through Calamity Corner here. It's Oliver Eriksson leading, Tommy Hallman in the second spot, Michaela Aylen-Kodolinski in the third spot. Ollie Eriksson now, he's going to take the joker, swings up wide here on this last lap. He's got to take it. Hallman had to take it as well. Aylen-Kodolinski going to gain a little bit of time. She's already taken it earlier. She's going to draw even with Hallman coming out. No, not quite there. So Hallman can have a solid second place unless he makes a mistake here. But Oliver Eriksson now with a massive gap back to Hallman in the second spot.
Now the track is coming together really, really nicely. We can see a little bit that the cars are getting a little bit faster for it. When we're looking at the last lap times, we are hitting the 47-second mark on those lap times. All of the top drivers right now, they have that 47.13, 47.672, 47.628.
All right, so 1 to go here. 1 corner to go here, and it is going to be Oliver Eriksson in the Borla exhaust car taking home the victory. It's going to be Tommy Hallman settling for second in this B main, and Michaela Aylen-Kodolinski settling there for the third spot in the Motec car.
Oh,
look at that, some celebratory donuts, 1,100 horsepower celebratory donuts in the boiler car there for Oliver Eriksson. We're going to see him back, and I know Ollie very well. He's going to have a little chip on his shoulder come semifinals and finals later on today. Same with Tommy Hallman, and a big shout out to Michaela Aylen-Kodolinski. First weekend ever racing a hypercar and throwing down some great laps. Now we're going to shift gears. We've got some A-mains, and in these A-mains, we're going to be crowning some podium finishers, and a little something special that we've got in these A-mains, something new for RallyX and the RallyX community, at least here in North America. One of our team owners and somebody that's been instrumental in rallycross here in North America has been Dennis Reinbold. You also know him from IndyCar, driving Reinbold Racing. Well, he passed away here about a week ago, so we have a special award that we're giving out called the Dennis Reinbold One of One Award. That's going to be given out today to our first official finishers in both Supercar and Hypercar. So the reasoning behind this trophy is in their debut, Dennis Reinbold's team took home a victory in their very first ever IndyCar start. So any driver in these divisions in RallyX that can take home a victory in their first ever RallyX start in North America will take home a trophy, One of One award. So we will be giving it out to each driver that wins today because it's their first ever official start in RallyX here in North America. And then moving forward, they will no longer be eligible to win that award. Any new driver coming to the series, if they win in their first official start, can take home a trophy. So it could be years before we crown another One of One award winner. But today we're going to be crowning two, both in Supercar and Hypercar. Big thanks to Dennis Reinbold for everything he did. Been instrumental in rallycross here in North America over the years and is definitely missed by the RallyX community. But right now on the grid, we have our A main, or our A final here for RallyX for the Supercar division. And let me tell you, this is an absolute stacked lineup that we've got coming at you. And this one on the front row, Mitchell DeYoung and Banks Hovey. Row number 2, Lucas Anderson and Gray Ledbetter. Simon Olofsson in the 5th spot, and Tyler Leach in the 6th spot. So 4 Americans, 2 Swedish drivers, and this is some of the best supercar drivers here in North America. This one's going to be exciting. And Tiffany, I would say out of all of them, Banks Hovey on that front row, he's kind of the surprise here.
Very much the surprise. After we talked to him after the semifinals in the paddock, he said that he had no idea that he was up there. He was going to start on the front row. He got a text from his mom and he had zero idea. So I know he was just as shocked, but I'm not shocked with Banks. You know, Banksy is a person that understands spatial awareness. He's not afraid of things. We've seen him on Channel 199 and he's showcasing what he can do. All
right, and it is going to be Mitchell DeYoung in the back 40, kind of getting an edge on the competition there. And look at that, Banksy in the Real Street Tactical car just sending it in there to the barn corner.
And what I loved about that move is he's like, if you're not going to let me in, I'm going to make my own lane. I'm going to make my way in there. But the track right now is just getting a little bit dustier, so I'm going to see what happens into the gravel pit. If they're so close together, they might not have enough visibility, but we're going to see how this track comes together.
Yeah, that is Olofsson there currently leading. Mitchell DeYoung in the 2nd spot. Looks like you got Banks and Gray Ledbetter, the significant others there, moving down into Calamity Corner. Gray, that Motec car has been very impressive so far this weekend. We'll see if she can battle into a podium spot here, but right now it's the back 40 team of Olofsson and DeYoung, 1 and 2.
And what many may not know about Simon Olofsson, he is the super light car GOAT. Now, he statistically is the most decorated and successful driver. 18 career victories, 30 podium finishes within his career, Jim.
Yeah, moving up here into the supercar division. These cars loosely based on a Supercar Lights platform, formerly racing here in North America, still active in Europe, but right now he is absolutely on rails here in the 2nd spot. But Mitchell DeYoung finding a way to get around his teammate, and I tell you what, a Mitchell DeYoung that's out front with clean air is a dangerous Mitchell DeYoung. What an accomplished driver here in North America when it comes to rallycross.
And Mitchell DeYoung, just like Romet Cerna, Romet did take the sim racing, but DeYoung, he is a world-known rally sim racer champion as well, and he's showcasing what he knows about Crandon.
Yeah, DeYoung is a very accomplished sim racer in multiple disciplines as he continues to lead out here. DeYoung has won at Crandon before, been 14 years, but he has been a pro buggy winner here. Also won a cup race in pro buggies, so definitely no stranger to Crandon. He has been a champion here in the Midwest in pro buggy as well. Moved out of the pro buggy division and went rallycross racing globally for the last decade plus. But DeYoung said it's great to be back here at Crandon, and obviously things are working in his favor as he leads over his teammate Olofsson currently here in the Supercar A final.
And what else is great about DeYoung is that back in 2013 is when he came onto the professional scene in rallycross. He was X Games medalist as a rookie, completely dominating the next year in 2014. He won 7 out of 9 starts as well.
And there his teammate Olofsson electing to take the Joker, probably a wise use of that. Is he going to be able to have the field cleared? He does. Gray Ledbetter now getting a little pressure from Banks Hovey. Banks to the bottom. Looks like he's going to get around Ledbetter momentarily. Ledbetter going to look to the inside, try and get it back around Banks. Looks like Banks running way wide out there in the fluff.
Well, we're also noticing that we are missing one of our drivers out there, number 5 of Tyler Leach. It looks like, unfortunately, he's retired and pulled off as well. But there's a lot of action still happening up front with Simon Olofsson right now. We've got Banks Hovey right behind that, Gray Ledbetter, and Lucas Anderson.
All right, so now Olofsson getting a little pressure there from Banks Hovey. Gray Ledbetter dropping back behind Hovey a couple of car lengths, but Lucas Anderson, surprised, sitting back there in the 5th spot. Been a dominant force in Europe as our leader, Mitchell DeYoung, now taking on this final lap, the Joker. Right now, Banks Hovey looking to get around Olofsson. Gray Ledbetter now having to take the Joker as well. She's going to drop back to the 5th spot. Lucas Anderson going to pick up 1, but right now out front, Mitchell DeYoung looking pretty with about half a lap remaining.
Mitchell DeYoung, for some reason, you know, he's really coming into this, picking the correct lines, understanding where it comes through. As they come through the gravel pit right there, earlier you said, Jimmy Henderson said it was a little bit more moisture down there. Seems like it's really coming out, but the dust is coming in, having limited visibility, it looks like, for Banksy.
Yeah, definitely some limited visibility here, but looking to the bottom, 1 corner to go. Oh, a little bump there. Banks Hovey into Simon Olofsson. Olofsson exiting stage left. Is going to be DeYoung at the stripe with a victory. Hovey going to take 2nd. Olofsson not going to sit well with him. He is going to finish up in the 4th spot behind Anderson. No, excuse me, 5th spot. Looks like Ledbetter taking home the 4th spot. So Simon Olofsson, oh, that was a tough one for him in that last corner, but Hovey just stuck his nose in there and said, I want this one, and wanted it a little bit more. So Banksy going to find himself into 2nd. Anderson going to sneak into the podium from running 5th most of the day. Gray Ledbetter going to settle there for the 4th spot. Great effort by her. She's getting really, really quick here. So, yeah, it's going to be Mitchell DeYoung taking home that Dennis Reinbold 1-of-1 trophy today. So big congrats to him, and also with the victory here in the A final. So we are going to see our supercars in action later on today. We have yet another semifinal and an A and B final. So those are going to be back in action this afternoon here at Crandon. But right now, we've got our Hypercar A final yet to come. And this one, some of the top drivers in the world in this one. Just a heavy hitter list. But right there, the United Rentals car, Jimmy Henderson, has been very, very strong so far this weekend. Lots of seat time here at Crandon in a Pro 4, as well as side-by-sides in the past. But Jimmy Henderson has made his presence known here in RallyX. I think a lot of the European drivers coming over here didn't expect a lot, but Jimmy Henderson said, hey, I'm here to play. He's committed to the full series this year. We will see him in action here. We'll see him in action next weekend in Eldora. We move on to Trois Rivières, Canada. We will be in action there, and we're going to see him in our finale in Europe, in Portugal, where both the European drivers and the North American drivers are going to be competing against each other, and we're going to crown champions over there in Portugal at the end of the year. So Jimmy Henderson committing to everything, going to be carrying the flag internationally for America, so definitely looking forward to that. So he is getting gridded up in the United Rentals car. I know busy weekend for him, pulling double duty along with Mitchell DeYoung, along with Johnny Holcher as well. So a few drivers here pulling double duty, but right there lining up next to Jimmy Henderson, that is Robin Larson. when you talk about hypercars, Tiffany Stone, you got to talk about Robin Larson. This guy has been a dominating force previously in Nitrocross in these same cars.
Yeah, his pedigree and his accolades are astounding. Won the first 2 FC1 championships, led the point standings at the end of the 2024 season. He has an impressive record, 18 podium finishes, 8 victories, and 23 total FC1 race starts. So the hypercar start for him, you know, watching this and knowing the pedigree and the heritage, it's really cool to see such a decorated driver come out here. And of course, sitting line by line with Jimmy Henderson. That if I'm Jimmy sitting in that front seat, I'm feeling pretty good knowing that I'm sitting up there in that front row with some of the best.
Yeah, then looking back to the second row, we got Mitchell DeYoung coming off a supercar victory just moments ago. He is going to be in action here, filling in for Tanner Faust, the Optima Batteries car. Then the outside of that row, along with Mitchell DeYoung, is going to be Kevin Erickson in the Kicker Audio car. As you'll hear, these electric cars got some cool sound systems in them, brought to you by Kicker Audio. That sound system tied in with the ECU of these cars, so everything the driver is doing behind the wheel, it is being put out there so you can understand the revs in the car and the shift points, things like that. So Kicker Audio definitely doing a lot here for the RallyX community. Then the third row, we've got Miss Leah Block, who needs no introduction as she is in the 5th spot. Timmy Hansen, world-class driver, former world champion, also in the E1 Boat Series, making his way here to Crandon as well for his debut here at Crandon. So this one, 6 drivers slated for 5 laps, and we are going to be crowning both a Dennis Reinbold 1-of-1 winner as well as a winner here to the race. Lights are out, looking for that green flag. Watch these Yokohama tires hook up. Look at that, almost 4 wide going down the front stretch. Looks like Jimmy Henderson had the edge on Larson. Larson had the position on track. It's going to be Larson followed by Henderson and DeYoung.
And then we've got Mitchell DeYoung making his way through over here. He's already got a look at this track. He knows how it's coming up right now. To me, it seems like he's going to push it out just a little bit, block over Jimmy Henderson, come through, but Jimmy was able to come through the gravel pit ahead. Now we've got Leah Block making her way up to that 3rd position in front of DeYoung, and then right behind that, we've got a few more great drivers. We're seeing what's going on. It looks like that we had one of them pull off in just a little bit. We'll get some more information on that. Oh, there he is.
That is Kevin Erickson in the Kicker Audio car pulling off, having a problem early.
It seemed like he had a few issues going into practice as well, so I'm wondering if they were able to figure that out or what was going back on, or if it's a new issue.
Yeah, now going back up front though, it is Robin Larson with a 3-4 car length lead over Leah Block in the 2nd spot. Jimmy Henderson now in the 3rd spot, going to try and charge back very, very close to Leah Block. Mitchell DeYoung now in the 4th spot as well. That 2nd through 3rd group, or is 2nd through 4th group, very, very tight as Robin Larson now with about a 3-4 car length lead over Leah Block.
And Leah was mentioning earlier that she, you know, is excited to be back in here. You were also talking about how quick she was getting through Q1, through Q2 yesterday as well. And when we look at Leah Block, she just keeps putting down those numbers. She knows all the different forms of discipline. She's been in one of these cars before. She had 3 options before back in Rallycross, and she's showcasing why she should be here, how fast she is, and what she's doing in this hypercar.
All right, so Jimmy Henderson there taking the Joker. He's going to drop back. That time will come back to him at some point. Mitchell DeYoung now battling with Leah Block, trying to put a little pressure on her. Still got a lot of time, got a handful of laps remaining. He's going to sit back there and try and force a mistake. Mitchell, a very strategic rallycross driver, lots of seat time, lots of testing time, both behind the wheel of Super and a hypercar. Look at that, looks like he went over, made a mistake. He kind of went over the berm there for a second, now trying to do it the hard way. Well, Leah going to shut the door. Mitchell getting into the back bumper of her, slamming the door on Mitchell. He's going to have to really push as you see the bumper kind of starting to fly off the back of Leah Block as they come through. And it is DeYoung. I thought he slid up into the Joker. I couldn't quite see, but it looks like he is now back into 4th. So going up front is Robin Larson first, Leah Block 2nd, Mitchell DeYoung and Jimmy Henderson in the mix as well. Henderson going to get around DeYoung for the 3rd spot. Back to 4th, it is going to be DeYoung now. But right now up front, it is Robin Larson. He's going to have to take the Joker yet. I believe Leah Block is as well.
And when we're looking, the track's coming up together a little bit, Jim. We're starting to see a lot more Blue Groove in there. That's going to make those cars just a little bit faster. And if you haven't driven on Blue Groove, it seems a little bit more slick if you're not used to it. So I'm wondering if they're trying to work through those driving styles as well with this Blue Groove.
And Robin Larson now going to slide up. He is going to take that on this final lap. Leah Block as well. Jimmy Henderson looking low, trying to get around Leah Block. It looks like Jimmy Henderson is going to seal the deal. He's going to get around Leah Block. Mitchell DeYoung going to get around Leah Block as well. So Mr. America, Jimmy Henderson into the second spot here. What a great effort by him in his Hypercar debut.
And this is what we're talking about, the strategic play through here, especially with the Joker line. It seemed to pay off very, very well for Jimmy Henderson, especially because he knew he had that time and he was able to make that up. So that's why he took the Joker earlier.
All right, so Robin Larson doing what Robin Larson does behind the wheel of a hypercar, just throwing down some great laps. Jimmy Henderson in this final corner going to try and take a look at the inside. Nothing there as Robin Larson takes the victory here and the Dennis Reinbold 1-of-1 trophy. It is going to be Jimmy Henderson into the second spot and Mitchell DeYoung just barely edging out Leah Block for that third and final podium spot. Wow, Tiffany Stone, what a debut for a hypercar out here at Crandon.
I absolutely love watching this, and I know that's got to feel good for Jimmy. He considers this his home track. Now that he's slated for the whole season as well, he really showcased what he could do. He did mention earlier how he was just so surprised at his time. He really wanted to be focused in it, especially coming off the Pro 4, and he seemed to have done it right now.
Yeah, there you've got a shot there of Timmy Hansen, who is going to be pulling in there. And obviously, yes, we've got our winner, Robin Larson. Interesting note here, he's going to take home that Dennis Reinbold 1-of-1 trophy. He actually has formerly drove for Dennis Reinbold in Nitro Cross. So sure that's going to be very good moment there for Robin Larson. But our hypercars are back. Our supercars are back in the paddock. They're going to do some prep. They're going to get them re-prepped, and we're going to go racing again. We've got semifinals and finals later on this afternoon for round 2 of the RallyX Americas series. So on behalf of Tiffany Stone, I am Jim Beaver. We're going to sign off here momentarily, hand it back over to Shane and Brent. They're going to bring you more of the championship off-road, the Champ Off-Road series, and we are going to come back at you later on this afternoon with more from RallyX.
Spoke words, we had instincts.